So, what does it mean to be a master of your skill? Not just talent, not just great, but unreachable. The art of bending the game to your rhythm, your imagination, and your will. In basketball, greatness is often loud, thunderous dunks, towering blocks, and mega viral highlights. But mastery, it not only can be loud, as it can be extremely quiet to the point where you don't even notice it. Instead of it being bold and in your face, it lies within the small details of the game, such as subtle counters, locating the perfect angle to attack, and all in all, being patient to find your opening and then striking with force. Now don't get blinded by that word force, because with these players that we're going to talk about, they all mastered their skill, and it's not necessarily about them forcing their way into effectiveness, as it's more about them shaping the game to their liking. You first have the calculated, calm nature of Shai Gilgeous Alexander, the wizard creator in Kyrie Irving, and the gravitational pull of Stephen Curry. Each have been praised, each have been criticized, and each in their own way have changed the way basketball is played and the way we understand skill itself. But before we go further, let me ask you this. Have these guys had a net positive impact on the game or a net negative? By the end of this video, your answer might shift one way or the other, so grab your snacks, lock in, because the Hoop Mastery Academy is now in session. Shai Gilgeous Alexander. Now Shai doesn't move like most superstars. There's no rush in his game and no panic. He plays with the patience of someone who already knows the ending of the story and is simply walking us there step by step. When going at Christian Braun here, Shai knows he wants to attack the middle of the floor where there's a gap in the defense, but he can't just try to push there right away. So he first has to set up Braun by going left, and here's where the defense thinks they got him. Because with Jamal Murray helping over, this now shows a potential double, but all this was a setup for Shai to spin off Braun into the paint with more ease, and once he gets to his spot, it's as simple as rise up and knock it down over the top. At first glance when you watch Shai, everything pretty much looks effortless. He can utilize a simple hesitation dribble to catch you off guard, he can initiate the contact by bumping defenders before shooting, and even though he isn't the fastest guy on the court, he can skate past defenders like he's floating, and before you know it, 2 more points have been added to the board. As easy as Shai makes it look, it's not. The truth of the matter is that Shai is an engineer inside the chaos. He manipulates defenders the way a chess master manipulates pawns, simply by baiting them, nudging them, and forcing them into choices that always end in his favor. When coming off screens going downhill, you're always going to have the advantage over the defender due to them recovering. So with the crossover being used, this now makes Neymar get off balance as he now has to open up his hips to get back squared. And if you look at Andrew now, he's already leaning back, which isn't the best position to be in when it comes to guarding Shai, who ends up using that bump to send him back further. And you already know it's straight cash. In the 2024-25 season, Shai led the league in scoring by putting up 32 points per game, and it wasn't just the points that stood out, it's how efficient he was. He shot 52% from the field, 37% from deep, and 89% from the free throw line. Yeah, that right there is ridiculous, and it's not like Shai is some high flyer, a sniper from deep, or a track star who beats defenders to the rim. His game is all based on pace and aggressiveness, and when you have defenders understanding what you might do but still fall for the bait or just can't stop you, this is when you know you are truly elite. Now I understand that a lot of players in the league can score in bunches and have the capability to put up 30 on any given night. But me and you both know that it's different with Shai because he's so consistent. And this all comes down to his method of scoring. His mastery, well, it lies in balance. It goes between strength and finesse, patience and explosion, and last but certainly not least, baiting and punishing. You'll see here when he comes off the screen attacking post hard, when he has the body-to-body contact with the big having his arm low, this is where Shai can use his strength to muscle off the defender, but also here's where the bait comes in. Because now since post played the drive and had his arm low, Shai can now pull up knowing that post will have an arm on him, and this results in an and one.
Alexander gets downhill, draws contact, and scores.
As the season approaches, I want you to watch closely and you'll notice how he weaponizes pace and aggression in his favor. He'll lull his defender into a rhythm, almost dribbling lazily, and then with a single hesitation, he's gone. This here is all great and all, but with greatness comes complaints. And here's the controversial part. Some critics say Shai is ruining the game with foul baiting, they argue he manipulates refs, hunts for contact instead of buckets. But if you look closer, this isn't cheap trickery. It's mastery of human behavior. It's teaching defenders that every overstep, every hand placement, and that every mistimed contest comes with a cost. So trust me, he's not flopping, he's simply punishing mistakes. And that right there is the essence of mastery. You don't have to overpower your opponent, but what you must do is outthink them. So, is Shai breaking basketball, or is he showing us a deeper layer of it? Maybe mastery isn't supposed to look explosive. Maybe it's supposed to look inevitable. Kyrie Irving. If Shai's mastery is inevitability, Kyrie Irving's is creative poetry. Where Shai manipulates the defense like chess, Kyrie dances with him like jazz. If you had to explain Kyrie's game to someone who doesn't watch basketball much, you could say it's chaos under control. If you ask me, no player in NBA history has handled the ball like him. Although they're close, I still believe he advanced to handle past Allen Iverson and Jamal Crawford. Now, all respect to those guys for setting the tone, but Kyrie's handle goes beyond that. It's limitless. Every counter has a counter, and every fake has a response. And yet, here's what most people miss. Kyrie doesn't need to dribble. He can score with almost no moves at all. A single hesitation, a jab, one hard step, that's really just enough for him to get the space to shoot. Take this play for an example. When he catches in the corner with a near 7-foot Kevin Durant on him, this here is a clear mismatch in terms of size. But all Kyrie has to do is deliver a hard jab step to make KD lunge back, and bada bing, it's money team. Plays like this is what every young player should have in their game so they don't exert so much energy every play, but when he does choose to unleash the handle, it's art. You'll see defenders stumble, crowds get hyped, and even other NBA players admit they can't predict his next move. He can combo it up with a hard jab step into a crossover step back splat. He can use his footwork off the pivot to unlock the step through for a bucket inside, and when time's called for it, he can get extra saucy in that in-between area before rising up for the jumper. This past season, Kyrie averaged nearly 25 points per game on 47% shooting from the field and 40% from deep, and at 33 years old, his game really hasn't slowed down. And you could say that's because he's mastered different skill sets while not relying purely on athletics, and with instincts like his that you can't teach, this keeps him levels above other players in the league. But hold on, what truly makes Kyrie unique though is his finishing. He's 6'2", maybe 6'3" on a good day. He has no business finishing over 7-footers, and yet he still does it. With either hand, off either foot, spinning, floating, scooping, or reversing. His game around the rim has an endless amount of tools in the toolbox, making the impossible just look casual. And unlike most isolation artists, Kyrie can thrive without the ball as well. He'll cut into open space to attack, and if defenders relax for even a second, well now they're playing catch up. But just like Shai, there's a group of people who criticize Kyrie's game as well. Some call him selfish, flashy, a distraction, and some will argue that his artistry doesn't translate to winning. But here's the truth, Kyrie's influence goes beyond box scores. He expanded the definition of what skill in basketball could be. Allen Iverson made handles cool, but Kyrie made them essential. Today, every young guard in the world is trying moves he pioneered, so is Kyrie a selfish outlier, or is he proof that mastery can be beautiful and effective? Maybe his legacy isn't about being the most efficient guy or who gets a lot of rings. Maybe it's simply about showing us that creativity in itself is a weapon. Steph Curry's master of space is quite simple to describe, but trust me, it's impossible to contain. On paper, he's the greatest shooter ever, and that is undisputed. His range stretches beyond what should be rational. And when he steps on the court, defenders have to pick him up 30 feet away from the basket, and sometimes even further. But what makes Steph truly different is his movement. He never stops and he's not waiting for the ball, as instead he's creating the conditions that make the defense collapse. You'll always see him running off screens, cuts, relocations, and setting picks to eventually be open for the money ball. All of this tires out the defender as they have to chase him around all game long, and if they get behind at any point in the play, well, it's a done deal. You'll see here when Hart gets ready to chase him off the three, Curry simply shoots back towards the basket to get a layup. And on this play, you'll see that he changes paces while KCP is trailing him, and once he breaks free, all you can do is watch the ball drop in. Last season, Steph put up 24 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds while knocking down 44% of his shots from the field and 39% of his shots from deep range. At 37 years old, Curry still dictates the game with nothing but motion and fear from deep. But Steph's impact isn't just numbers, it's structural. He changed the geometry of basketball. Before Steph, three-pointers were just one weapon that wasn't used a whole lot. But after Steph, they became the foundation of modern offense. Kids today don't dream of dunking as much as they used to anymore, as they dream to shoot threes from the logo. Critics will be quick to say he broke the league and that the three-point revolution ruined basketball. But here's the counterpoint. He didn't ruin it, he unlocked it. And that the most dangerous shot is the one the defenders aren't prepared to guard. Steph's mastery is the opposite of Kyrie's chaos or Shai's calm. It's the mastery of space and sniping. You can guard him perfectly for 23 seconds and still lose in the last one. That right there is not luck. That's the weight of gravity. So I'll ask again, did they have a net negative or net positive on the game? Because these three changed basketball forever. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.